Hello, welcome back to Britain's Hidden History with me, Ross. Christ saw. Right, I'm going to dive straight in because it's a lot to cover on this one. And here we go. It's the largest Roman treasure in Britain. The story's a few years old, but it's back being discussed for some reason. And we talked about this year, the Haughton hoard. Haughton hoard, very important. I mean, loads, 60 pounds, 28 kilos or so, gold and silver. All these objects. What makes this Roman? Why is this woman, ibex, whatever? What's Roman about them? How is it dated, okay? It's the biggest hoard. It's labelled, as you can see, a Roman treasure. So why is it Roman? Let's have a look. What's the dating? Now, I strongly urge you to read this article. We'll put the link in the things. It tells you all about how the person who found it was very good. He went straight to the police, realised he's pulling out this dream for a metal detector. Gold and silver coins coming out. So he went straight to the police, straight to the local archaeological society. So the whole thing was very carefully measured and monitored, alright? It's important. Okay, and they were hoping, I like this bit, in their laboratory, they hoped that they could examine the age. It's 30 years on, and they still don't seem to be doing a very good job, as we get on to. Right, now this rather ugly Perspex box is there for a reason. It's quite clever, actually, because what they've done by meticulously this is what archaeologists do really, really well, okay? Meticulous records of how everything was found during the dig, and then how it was arrayed when they found it. And most importantly, it's not just from above. It's going to be, scroll down. You can view from the side, okay? So what you can see here is quite a lot of the objects are much higher. These are bracelets and things than the coins. So it's assumed they all come from the same date. But, that's 8 or 9 inches. Why would there be such a gap? Could it be the coins are older than the rest of the items up here, which are more recent? Which would definitely make them British? Anyway, that's not really the point I'm trying to make, but it's worth bearing in mind. Right, so we go back to how did they work it all out, okay? Well, they immediately say it was Roman. And the big thing the only thing really they've got is these 3. Not these 3, they found hundreds of coins, thousands. What did they find altogether? Thousands of them. 15,000 Roman coins, 200 gold objects, all sorts of things, okay? And these are the key, because they claim, and again, this is not a precise science, and I would say there's a lot of doubt about how they read in the coins, and which emperors are being claimed. But anyway, let's play with their game, their rules, right? We'll just assume, yep, they got it all right, they know the emperors, the dates, all those things are bang on, alright? Now this is the first thing that springs up. Ordinarily, they would use radiocarbon dating, and listen to this, however, they couldn't locate any suitable materials from the hall. And come back to that to remember it, because radiocarbon dating, yeah, you need organic materials. Clothes, wood, bones, dead things, that's basically what you need, because the amount of carbon-14 starts to leach out of things once they die. That's the principle. I think it's a principle that's flawed, but there you go, that's how it works, alright? So you can't do it on metal and stone. So what they've done, this is the key bit though, the coins, which, rather horrible picture, they look like some sort of plastic or wax rather than glorious gold. Anyway, they determined the age by examining the writing on the coins as well as the ruler carved onto them, estimating the treasure was probably buried in either 408, 409. Immediately incorrect. They've estimated that the earliest coin is 408, 409, as we'll go into. Could have been buried 100 years later, I don't know. If they find something which is oparts, objects outside there where they should be, if they find one is too early, they say it's an heirloom. They could be heirlooms, could be 100 years out. But anyway, how did they come up with this date? Because 408, 409, immediate alarm bells, because that's the immediate... the real pro-Romanists, everything in Britain is Roman, are pushing, even they wouldn't go, they say 410, the Romans left, so 409, acceptable date, 411, outside the triangle, not allowed, unless you want to jump into the next triangle and call it 600 something, say it's Saxon, alright? It's not just me being facetious, check out British Museum, places like that. You've got Roman era, Gap, Saxon, Anglo, Germanic era. The Britons are ghosts in their own history. They're disappearing. That's why it's called hidden history, okay? Britain's hidden history. Anyway, this date is key, alright? I could read the article. There's all these beautiful items and all this kind of stuff. You got why the coins are being clipped. It's not just people nicking the gold and silver, apparently. It's because Britain, who produced precious metals, was cut off from precious metals and was officially clipping them to make more coins. I mean, it's... Stop and think about it, it's mad. This thing annoys me, right? This says after the... Why are they called Romano-British? It's after... well, I should actually say first, but it's... they quite clearly date it for after... Oh no, what have I done a bit there? Here we go. Jump my script a bit there. So Roman-era archaeologist Peter Guest told Smithsonian Magazine, if you look at them a little more carefully, that's the coins, the objects, they should be dated to the period after the separation of Britain from the Roman Empire. Oh my goodness, if Alan Wilson said that, they'd be stringing him up and calling him all sorts of things, but this is an archaeologist who's allowed tentatively, so it becomes Romano-British then. Imagine if you went to Indian people and called them Brito-Indians because, the British Empire was there for 200-300 years. So they're now called Britanno-Indians, not just Indians. Anyway, this thing about cutting off the coins, all this nonsense, none of these can be particularly identified, although why they can't just be locally made items. Metalworking goes back to, thousands of years. You look at, the famous cape and all these kind of stuff, mould cape. Anyway, so these different items. We'll crack on. Now what I'm going to do is go on to how they date it from the coins, okay? Now, when I was doing a bit of research on that, I found this. Wiki's quite useful for this kind of thing. Subsequent archaeological investigations, right? I wasn't expecting to find this. I just wanted to work out the coins, okay? Both earlier Iron Age and medieval materials are also discovered, but there is no evidence of a Roman settlement in the vicinity. I mean, what? No evidence. None at all. And they go on there, and you can read. Please have a read of this because you can read about. They reckon this is from the Roman period, mostly coins, but also some box fittings. However, no structural features of the Roman period are detected. Let's go Roman anyway. Got your dates, Ross. All right, so there's loads of items and all this, tons of coins and all that kind of thing. I'm there with fortunes. Now, how did they come up with a 408, 409? Now, what you have here. Oh, God, this is where it gets I'm going to try and find it because there's loads of stuff going on. Right, here we go. Right, so what you got? You got three empires at the time, right? You got the Western Roman Empire, Central and Eastern, all right, in very rough terms. Britain, Spain, and Gaul, France, were separate to the rest of the Roman Empire at this point. Even the mainstream acknowledges this. From at least the 380s, it was separate. So we're well out of the Roman era. Anyway, let's carry on playing the game on their rules. Right, so what we have here, we got Honorius 393 to 423, Constantine 407 to 411, and then Arcadius in 408. All right. Now the theory is here, which is that they produce coins for each other with each other's faces on. I don't know. It's all very jolly and friendly. So because this guy died in 408, none of the coins of these two can be later. Even though Honorius was around till 423. No, we're going to stick with 408. And don't forget, the coins can't be old. They can't have sat in the coins 10 to 20 years. Within a year of him dying in 408, all the coins are going to be buried. Otherwise, you fall over the 410 and you break the rules. So it's bonkers. So it says straight Western mints in Gaul, Italy. And the other thing, which they don't mention at all, is at this time, Britain was a major exporter. Leather goods, food, metals. I don't know why, worry about metals. The metals are coming from Britain. Tons of stuff. Livestock and massive exporters. There's only so much wine and olive oil you can take. You want some gold, please, and silver. Proper payment. So this hoard could be payment for British goods. Why isn't that ever considered, They don't... No, it does also... Hang on a second. Further east, some coins might have reached Britain through trade. As he collapses and faints on the floor. It's like they mention these things, find the answers, and just won't go with it. The other thing, if you want to go deeper into this, they're talking about the clipping the coins, the fact that the levels of gold content is very, very high, which, anyway, you can go through all that kind of stuff and look about it. Well, the point of all this is that some of these translations are hilarious. But there you go. Have a look at it. Yeah, it is very fantastic because what you're seeing, there's nothing certain about it being Roman at all. In fact, all the evidence points to it not being. So why is they so keen to smack a Roman label on it. And please, on the comments, what have I missed? Why is this Roman? There must be something obvious I've missed somewhere that makes it Roman rather than British. There you go. Something different next one. We'll see you soon. Heddwch.